Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. Join award-winning host Dale Davidson as he interviews the most remarkable people you'll find in the entertainment capital of the world. You'll meet entertainers, sports figures, newsmakers, community and business leaders, and people just like you with stories that'll touch your heart. Now, here's Dale Davidson.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm Dale Davidson, your host. Each and every week, what we try to do here is to bring in really interesting people from Las Vegas who are doing terrific ministry. And we've done it again. We're very pleased to have with us Travis Gluckler, a.k.a. Doc Jones, and we'll get to why he has two names in just a minute. Travis, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. It's good
Tell us, we've known each other for several years. I've been very impressed by your ministry and what you're doing and your talent in music and spoken word.
Mm-hmm.
With any luck at all, we'll have a little time to show some of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Travis, tell us a little bit about your early life. You're a New Yorker, huh?
From New York. We're actually right outside the city, kind of close enough.
Oh, okay.
Where you can experience the city but not be right up in it.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, it was interesting, just place in the household where, God was never really spoken about.
Yeah. You didn't really know about Jesus at that point?
No, I had gone to church like with a friend. You stay at a friend's house and they take you to church Sunday morning. Or that was the deal,
Yeah.
I've done that, and the one thing I remember, from doing that there was actually one time that happened, is just the music and the energy was really amazing, even though I didn't believe, so kind of interesting.
Based on what I know about you and what I've read about you over the years, you were kind of a hustler. Is that the right way to put it when you were in New York?
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
I never really got into like selling drugs or anything like that, but more just product. I was an entrepreneur,
right?
And I guess mixtapes in that time
sure.
were like really big in New York, and I would hustle mixtapes and other different products. And really, my father was a car salesman, like. It was
in your blood.
It was pretty regular in my house.
Yeah. So New Yorkers don't pack up and move to Las Vegas that often, I don't think. What made you do that?
Yankees out here.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's a few Yankee fans here. What made you decide to come to our city?
I don't know. It was like this weird, just desire to get out of New York for some reason.
Yeah.
I felt trapped. I had just gotten married. We had a son. And I don't know, I just felt like I couldn't achieve any more where I was at. And I had never been, outside of New York or lived anywhere. I didn't have the college experience that some kids do, and just wanted to go somewhere. And I researched a bunch of different cities, and Las Vegas seemed at the time to be the best choice, which was like right before the whole economy crashed.
But it was a good place to come and earn money, particularly if you were of a hustling frame of mind.
I think so, yeah. I did really well here.
Yeah, and when you first got here, tell me about the business you got into, and also if you fell into sin, what that was like.
Yeah. Well, I came here with the same mentality of, I was already promoting parties and stuff like that in New York.
Oh, you were?
And, doing graphic design, printing, those kind of things. And one of the things, it was just a great idea. It's still a great idea. I just pursued it really poorly. Was nightlife photography and printing out photos in the nightclubs.
Oh, okay.
For the patrons.
Yeah.
And we made just a ton of money doing that, and that just led to a lifestyle of partying for me. That was like
your day started at 10 o'clock at night.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was really stressful on our marriage.
I imagine.
It deteriorated in many different levels, especially with me being unfaithful on so many occasions.
Well, there are a lot of party girls there, and a lot of things available to you. Now, you carried that to what extreme? I think you got into the strip club business in a way, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean,
how'd that happen?
It started real kind of casual. Is like, you're in the club, you're shooting pictures, and you got a bachelor party of 10 guys, and the clubs, pay you to send people to them, and it starts with that.
Cab drivers make a lot of money doing
exactly,
that.
and
Yeah.
it's a huge industry. I mean, that's one part of the sex industry in Las Vegas, and people look at that as like kind of more entry level, or kind of, you know, it's under the table. Nobody really knows. They're family people, cab drivers, all these things that are like sending parties to strip clubs.
Right.
And then, you know, it grew from there to actually getting involved with strippers, or meeting a girl and actually being so greedy to the point where my mindset was I don't care. I didn't care about anybody, you know.
Yeah.
It was actually really, it's weird now because I don't see, I'm nothing like that. And I look back at, you know, that person.
This is somebody else.
It's like, how could you? I mean, it was really delusional in so many ways. So
when you were sending the girls and living off their income, in effect, you were pimping them, right?
I think people would call it that.
Yeah.
At the time, I knew people who were like real pimps.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
And
yeah.
I think I was heading in that direction, but in no way was I guess it's hard to put it on a scale and weigh what's worse and what's bad. But at the time I wouldn't consider myself that, but
yeah.
it was. You know.
It was tearing up your marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hardly spent time with my kids, or it's just complete. It was all based on lies. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know why my wife held on for so long.
She's a saint.
A lot of grace.
Yeah.
A lot of grace. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We want to talk about how you came to Christ and totally turn your life around, and then also cover your music a little bit.
Sure.
But we need to take a brief break. We're going to do so right here on Las Vegas Tonight. We'll be back with Doc Jones, Travis Gluckler, right after this.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm Dale Davidson. We have Travis Gluckler, also known as Doc Jones, here with us at this most propitious time, because we're going to be talking about his conversion and his repentance. Let's cover that in any way that you'd like to cover it. During the break, we were talking about how you see those as basically two separate times, separate issues.
Yeah.
First, coming to faith, and then actually repenting. Tell me what you mean by that.
I think the more I've studied salvation and gotten to know God more, and just the work of Him and then the work of us, they're two different things. And that, like, salvation is of the Lord.
Right.
And we have no part in it because He chooses us and chooses to love us. And, when the Holy Spirit came into my heart, it's hard to say when. It could have even been it could be at the darkest times when I was, I wasn't even thinking about God, but God had already had His hand on me, obviously.
They say often you have to hit the bottom. Were you suicidal at one point?
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how serious I was about it, but it was a point, just a disparity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people
people looking at your life would say, those who aren't saved had to be saying, this guy's living the life. I mean, he's living the Vegas life. And yet, on the inside, you were in despair, weren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, sin feels good at first, and then it has its own set of rules that, that play itself out in your life,
Yeah.
And they weren't nice at all.
Wow. Tell us about your decision to come to Christ. How did that happen?
Well, my wife had already kind of reached out, I think, to God. She started going to Central,
Central Christian here
which
in
is
Las Vegas.
a major church for people who are seeking God, and I think they do an amazing job at that. She had already started going there. She really enjoyed, Judd and the worship and all those things. And I, still not considering myself religious. At times I was atheist or agnostic or, all these different things. Really went there because I knew I wanted to reconcile with her in some way. I didn't want her to go. I didn't want her to take the kids.
How many kids do you have at this point?
At this point, 2 kids,
right?
2 boys. And I kind of, followed her and started going with her just to kind of be there, be with the kids, even though we weren't really talking, we weren't really civil. It was kind of a time of just peace for both of us, I think.
Yeah.
And through that, a guy named Vince Antonucci, who was planting a church here from Virginia Beach, coming to Las Vegas.
He's going to be a guest later on our show.
For sure.
Yeah.
So he was a guest speaker at Central, and he delivered a message that completely wrecked my heart. And it was like the Holy Spirit conviction I think it was already there. It was just that moment that I turned around, I looked at my sin, and I turned to the Lord. And really just, man, I call it a baptism of the Spirit because there's no other word I could think of. I feel like he already had me in his hand, and it was like, this is the moment. You're being immersed in my presence, and it was like a healthy fear of the Lord was just, uncontrollable crying, like complete, just
emptying out of yourself.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember what the scripture reference was that he was?
It was the prodigal son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you identified with the prodigal son.
It was exactly
Absolutely.
me. I mean,
yeah.
Squandered my life on partying, wild living, realized I had nothing, came back saying I'll be a slave, with an orphan mindset, and then realizing that I'm a son how is that possible?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you make that distinction. That's pretty clear when that happened. How long ago was that, by the way?
It was December 15th, 2009.
That's great. So how much longer before you truly repented and saw, this life is not for me. This life is not for my family. The Lord doesn't want me to live this life. When did that happen? And tell me a little backstory on that.
I had already seen, I guess about 2 weeks after that, kind of major life changes. I remember even that same week, someone presented me the Zeitgeist movie and was like, this whole religion thing and organized religion, all Jesus, it's all a lie. So it was like the enemy was already trying to plant.
Starting to work on you already.
Yeah. It was like,
wow.
Oh, you think you believe, you thought you had an experience with God, and that whole thing. And then that got torn down by different doctrines, and some other leaders came in and kind of helped me through that time. I would say it took 2 weeks to a month for everything that I thought was, my career, all this thing was ripped away from me. And I was given it by the end of that year, because that was December. By the end of that year, I had a new life.
Really? That's all it took.
Yeah. It was so fast. I didn't want sin. I stopped watching porn. It was like everything. I tried to go back into nightclubs to go work or do something, shoot pictures, and I would get physically sick to my stomach.
You couldn't do it.
And I had to go through that sanctifying period where I was set apart, for a time before I could actually even start in ministry and go back into these dark places to be a light. I feel like every believer needs that.
They need some air.
That time, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what did you do for a living at that point? How did you support your family? I
still had graphics clients in I guess industries that I was still comfortable doing. I didn't want to do party flyers anymore or advertise any of those things. But I still had some clients that kind of got me by through a season. I sold life insurance for a little while. I tried to do some different things, and eventually started raising funds as a local missionary to Las Vegas. And I still do that to this day, among other things.
And your graphics business is still thriving, I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
I wouldn't say thriving, but it's still bringing in the provision that we need, at times.
Yeah.
And God has provided for us in all different ways.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What I want to cover in our next segment, Travis, if it's okay with you, is let's talk about the name, Doc Jones.
Sure.
and how you decided to have a stage name and why. And then I want to talk about your music, and I want to talk about your street ministry and your music ministry and what you're doing with all of that, because I think you're saving thousands of lives. I really do, temporal and eternal, with the work that you're doing. And as you know, I've been really impressed with your talent, and I think you're going to be a major Christian artist. You heard it here first. We'll be back with more on Las Vegas Tonight right after these messages. Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you're enjoying Las Vegas Tonight. The guests we've had on the program are wonderful examples of Christians who take seriously Christ's command to love one another. In addition to the hundreds of television stations across the United States now carrying our show, we have been presented with the outstanding opportunity to bring these inspiring stories to people around the world. An international satellite network in the Russian and Ukrainian languages has asked us to provide them with episodes to be broadcast to millions. To make a gift to support this very special effort, please send your check or money order to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To use your credit or debit card, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you. Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. Doc Jones is with us. We aren't even going to call you Travis Gluckler for a minute. When I first knew you, or heard about you, I knew you as Doc Jones. Other than that's really a cool name, which it really is. What made you decide to be Doc Jones as opposed to Travis in your music and your ministry?
It's kind of cool because, like I said, earlier in the segment is that God's hand was on me throughout my entire life. Like, I had that name coming out of high school.
Oh, you did?
A bunch of friends actually called me Doc and Doc Jones. It's not really important, but the name was with me all through this time. And I never knew, I would say DLC Graphics was the name of my graphics company. It was like DLC was always like a strong point in my whole life. Mm-hmm. And then I always was interested in music, and I grew up on hip hop, and a lot of this music was really bad for my soul.
Sure.
But I started writing down my testimony through rap and started going to the studio, recording songs. And one time in the studio, it was like I knew it was a prophetic moment, because I immediately, in the beginning of the song, as I'm about to, spit this verse,
right,
I say DOC, disciple of Christ, and I just knew it was like, that's what it meant all this time,
Mm-hmm.
Since high school. Like, he had his hand on me at every single moment, and that's just a cool testimony.
He just needed you to wake up and realize that he was there.
It was unsurrendered talent, unsurrendered vision, all those things.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of talent and vision, let's talk about your music, which is really exciting. As I mentioned to you in the past, you were dropping a song a week, which is amazing to me, that you could create a song a week. What made you do that to start with?
Part of it was like a therapeutic time. Like, writing music is just amazing for my spirit. It helps me, even God just speak to me. It's kind of like a communication language between me and God, and then it's also, you can share it with people, So like the beginning of the year 2013, I remember New Year's Day was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to release a song today. And God was like, why don't you just release a song every Tuesday for the entire year and call it? And it was just like this
every
weird
Tuesday,
conversation.
Right? Yeah.
It was 52 Tuesdays. And it was some really hard times. Like, a couple months into it, you're running out of songs, and like, all right, now I got to start really writing songs, because I had maybe 10 to 15 songs that were already started at the beginning of the year.
It was a little easier there.
I had to finish
them. Yeah.
And then it's like, wow, I need to create a lot more songs, which was, I'll tell you what, I would do it again. Just, I'm happy to take a break now. 2014 is really, I feel like it just wants me to rest and just worship and just soak in his presence more and more every day. And I'm just trying to build up that time. It's like working out spiritually,
Yeah.
You first you work out for 15 minutes, and it's a half hour, and it's an hour, and really wanted to, you know, build up to long, I guess, soaking sessions with him, you know, more and more.
Mm-hmm. And you feel successful in doing that now?
Kind of. It's tough.
It's a process,
I have 4
it?
kids now.
Wow. Yeah.
Full schedule, and
cute
I really
kids,
have
too.
to set the time aside for that, you know.
Yeah. How do you characterize your music? It's rap, it's spoken word, it's melodic, it's a lot of different things. But
Sure.
Tell me, you know, I hate to pigeonhole you, but give people a feel for what it is you're creating.
Yeah. I mean, over the last, I guess, 3 or 4 years, I would say it's more hip hop and spoken word.
Okay.
And then over the last, I guess, especially with 52 Tuesdays, you can hear all these different styles. It's almost like an experiment, you know?
Right.
You hear all these different weird worship that is like not traditional at all, but it's completely like you could worship to it. And then, you know, more spoken word, and then especially with launching the new band, 111 Band, and kind of putting away Doc Jones as a solo artist, that's been more like funk, reggae, experimenting, just all different kind of genres, especially with a live band, and being able to reach more people through that, you know.
Tell me about the 111 Band, and did that come out of your First Friday experience? Because I've seen you performing at First Friday, which is an event in Las Vegas in the Arts District where people all gather together, and they're artists of various types, and you use it as a ministry opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, what's happening now in Las Vegas is pretty amazing as far as like the art community really rising up, and this whole revitalization that's happening downtown.
It's really exciting.
That's presented opportunities for us to minister. I wouldn't say 111 Band came out of that, but it's definitely a major tool to be used in that community, because we're bringing music that you can dance to, you can vibe to, and you know, it's completely profanity free, and you know, those kind of things. So it's definitely fun. I have a great team of musicians who God has kind of placed in this band and really formed it around, and we're still looking for, you know, to add some musicians, different parts. So
tell me about 111. How'd you come up with that name?
It's actually based on Mark 111.
Okay.
Mark 111, for those that don't know, or you know, you can put it up if you want.
Yeah.
It says is when Jesus is being baptized, and God says, "Behold, my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased." And we have the same righteousness and the same identity that Jesus had walking this earth. Now we have it, and God looks at each and every one of us, says, "Behold, my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased, my beloved daughter, in whom I'm well pleased." And that identity, even though it's hard for us to see when we look in the mirror that we're His beloved, is true. And the more that we realize that, of how much God loves us, the more that we can actually walk this out and look like Jesus. And that's been a huge revelation in my life. And that's, you know, a lot of meaning, and just a lot of words from God to go into these things. And yeah.
You said it well. You really did. We're almost out of time, I'm sorry to say. But what we want to do is give you an opportunity to connect with our viewers. How can people get a hold of you? How can they see your music? Tell us about that.
Sure. A lot of the older music is on saintcityproject.com. That's kind of like the ministry website. And then 111 Band, all spelled out, no numbers, so it's 111band.com.
Okay.
Those are probably the best 2 places, or you can always connect with me on Facebook or any of the social media. And yeah, I look forward to anybody that wants to reach out in any way. Make myself available. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Doc Jones, Travis Gluckler, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
It's been an honor.
It's good.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight. We really appreciate you tuning in to us. Stick around. This time next week, we'll have another exciting guest. God bless, and please walk with Him.
Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
A potential audience of more than 50 million people is reached every week by Las Vegas Tonight. To keep the important message of Christ's love on the air, we need your prayers and financial blessings. please send your tax-deductible gift to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. For a donation of $25 or more, we'll send you a copy of Dale Davidson's new book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints. You'll love these inspiring stories of Las Vegas Christians who are changing the world. Or donate to the ministry, or order Dale's book by going to vegassaints.org. That's vegassaints.org. Or call us today at 702-480-3989. That's 480-3989. God bless you.
Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Travis, thanks for joining us again.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Let's talk just a little bit to recap for those who didn't see the first show. Tell us about the amazing transformation of your life here in Las Vegas, which is a strange place to come and get saved, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah, I guess most people wouldn't think that you moved to Las Vegas and meet Jesus. I mean,
Yeah. You know,
But
what I've often thought of, since he would hang out with sinners and publicans and, all of that sort of thing.
yeah.
He'd be at the craps table, wouldn't he? Talking about faith, talking about God, talking about grace, talking about redemption.
Or at least walking up to people with words of knowledge and
Yeah, that's
having people fall down and worship in the middle of a casino.
there. You go.
Yeah.
There you go. Tell us a little bit about your backstory. How did you come to Christ here in Sin City?
Well, I moved here with the intention of becoming very successful and making a lot of money, and I did that pretty well for about 2.5 years with lots of sin and lots of just all kinds of just nasty stuff in my life involved in the midst of all that.
Right.
Thinking I was successful and really getting to a place of despair where my life was just falling apart. My family, my wife, my kids, everything was just falling apart. And through His grace and through my wife, and actually, here's a really cool part of my testimony, which I should share more, is that at one point, me and my wife had signed divorce papers.
Wow.
And I had sent her back to New York with the kids for a summer, which was probably one of the darkest summers of my life, with having no responsibility outside of making money and feeding my own flesh. I really went downhill from there. I waited 2 weeks to send those divorce papers in. And when I went to send them in, all the ink, everything notarized, all the signatures had disappeared.
Wow.
You could see the imprint of the pen on the paper. All the ink was gone. I called the company, can I still send this in? They're like, no, you have to get everything re-signed. She comes back from New York, not knowing, thinking that we're divorced, really. She came back. I don't know why she came back. We still talk about that. But we, obviously the divorce didn't go through. She ended up seeking faith out through some other, a little bit later on down the road, which led me to a place where, I had some answers for some of the things that were happening in my heart, and just an amazing transformation that happened at Central through a man named Vince Antonucci.
Right.
Who was a guest speaker over there.
Yeah.
And just amazing repentance and transformation. His love brought me home in a way I didn't think was possible.
Let's talk about discipleship just a little bit, if we can. You covered well how you came to faith, and also how you repented. But tell us about how you came to truly know Christ through the assistance of other pastors and other more mature believers. Tell me about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my mind frame had to be completely changed, because I was really, I know the best way, this kind of thinking, and really just completely still rebellious, even though repenting and wanting to serve God. I feel like when you first get saved, you have this crazy zeal, almost like a shotgun. And you just,
yeah, that's right. Everywhere.
There's no aim, you just spray.
Right.
And, through Vince, being baptized at Verve and being part of a church
That's
plant.
his church.
Yeah. which is amazing. You know, being part of a church plant, you know, you get saved and you go help plant a church. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then I felt like God was moving me to another church plant, also in South Las Vegas area, which is where I was really discipled more on just being organized and how to raise money and how to
the mechanics of it,
how to lead people, you know, through Bible studies and different things, and really kind of spending time and serving, and how to press up into the kingdom rather than serving your own kind of projects. You know, if it's always about my project, like that's not kingdom thinking. And I had to learn that the hard way, you know. So I had some pretty amazing leaders that God had placed around me and showing me different ways that church could be done. It doesn't always have to look the same. I thought that was a cool thing that God showed me, and I've had a lot of grace and just all the amazing men of God, women of God that have been placed around me.
Tell us about your church now. Where are you now?
Now at Casa de Luz, which is
House of Light.
The House of Light for those who don't speak Spanish. It's not a Spanish church; it's an English church based in the naked city of Las Vegas, and amazing discipleship ministry, and also amazing works that happen there from their food pantry. A lot of spiritual deliverance that happens there, and it's just an amazing place. Kind of an odd place. If you never get a chance to go to Casa de Luz, look them up or visit, because it's different. It'll change, I think, your paradigm of what you think church should look like.
We're going to have their Pastor Chris Chappell on an upcoming episode, and it's a remarkable story. It's a remarkable story, and we hope you'll stick around, and one of these coming weeks you'll get a chance to meet Pastor Chris and talk about an amazing church here in Las Vegas. We're gonna in our next segment we're gonna need to take a break here shortly, but what I want to cover and what I want people to know about is what's happening with Doc Jones and his music, and even more importantly his ministry right here in Las Vegas, and then maybe we'll show some of your music and have people see the video. It'd be great. We'll be back with more on Las Vegas Tonight right after these messages.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez, and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. We have Doc Jones. That's his stage name. And his real life name is Travis Gluckler. He's a family man. He's a pastor, really. He's a musician. He's a minister to people on the street, and a fascinating guy. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on now with Doc Jones and his ministry. What are you doing now?
At this moment, well, I've been through a lot of different ministries leading up to this time, but I feel like what God has really placed in my heart is the artistic, music, entrepreneurial community that's building right now in downtown Las Vegas. I feel like it's an untouched place. There's no churches down there. There's no evangelistic kind of seeker friendly kind of environment for down there. And there's this whole like new age kind of
that's the vibe,
universalist,
kinda.
Burning Man, all these different festivals, those kind of, that is part of that community, and just really wanted to bring salvation in. And I mean, victorious living, a lot of them I believe are plagued with spiritual attacks from the demonic, and inspired by all different things. It's like all ways lead to heaven, and and trying to really just bring some truth into that community it hurts, because I see them, and they're not homeless, they're not necessarily living a bad lifestyle, right? Most people would consider them good people, but yet good people don't go to heaven, and that's kind of something that maybe some people watching this don't agree with, and even there maybe even some people watching this that have a universalistic kind of view of how to be saved.
Let's address that for just a minute, if you don't mind, because I'm sure there are people who feel that way, and at one point I felt that way.
Sure.
Why couldn't other religions be right as well? If he's an all-knowing, all-omniscient God, he would allow other people of other faiths to come. Why do you feel that's not the case? When people ask you that, when you're down at First Friday in the Arts District, and they say, well, what's wrong with, a different approach? What's wrong with me thinking that the New Age religion is the way to go and get me into heaven? What do you say?
Sure. I mean, that's a long story. We can go back to animal sacrifices and all these, the God of Abraham and all these different things. But what I think breaks it down the easiest is that forgiveness alone doesn't get you into heaven. Forgiveness just gets you forgiven at that moment. And forgiveness and grace are two separate things. And I think the concept of grace is far from our human understanding. We believe in karma, we believe in mercy and forgiveness, and grace, on the other hand, is something totally different. And without crossing this line of forgiveness into grace, none of us go to heaven. Not me, not you, nobody. And to help people understand that, and that's a work of the Spirit, just to even understand that, So
it takes a long time to come to an understanding. Sometimes it can come in a blinding flash.
Yeah.
But reading about it and hearing people explain, to me it's pretty simple. It's unmerited favor. I mean, there's really no reason why God should love me. I look inside myself and there's nothing but slime in there. You know. But the Lord forgives all of that, and through His grace, then we can find salvation.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing.
So that's where my heart is at, is bringing salvation to people who, even in communities where they're not being reached.
Right.
And
that's a good group to reach because they're leaders, aren't they?
They are. They're creative people. I think God loves artists, and because He is the ultimate artist,
Sure.
He's the ultimate scientist, the ultimate businessman, and He wants to set people of different platforms, politics, all these. He wants to reach these people on every single level of society. So, that doesn't exclude the homeless. That doesn't exclude people who are hurting, who are sick, who are.
And you've served that community.
Sure, you want to serve all communities, but this can't be a forgotten community.
Yeah. Let's talk about serving communities and turning your life around to service. If you don't mind my saying, I think your background was pretty selfish for a long time.
Yeah.
You came to Christ, obviously, and changed. How long did it take for you to get to the point where you said, hey, it's not about me at all. It's all about Him, and it's all about serving others. How long did that take?
I don't think it took long at all, because you got to think about, like, salvation and repentance. You have this new heart, which is no longer, it's brand new. You're a newborn baby, and you start learning how to walk this out with this new heart, this new way of thinking and mindset. And I immediately, I'd say within a year, started doing these different community service projects, throwing youth concerts, collecting socks to give out to the homeless. Because, most people don't think about socks as like,
that's an important
socks.
Thing. Yeah.
But like homeless people, the homeless community walk everywhere, and it's like, if they don't have clean socks, I don't know if you've ever walked around with the same socks on for 3 days, but it doesn't feel good,
Yeah, sure. It's not good for you.
In the military, they tell you protect your feet at all times.
Right, right.
It's crucial to their lifestyle, and I think that's just a little need. Do they need to get off the streets? Yes, but it's a physical need that we can open the door to minister to them with. So
it's almost in a way, going to that service aspect again, it's almost inexplicable in a way. It happens. They say that being born again changes you from the inside out.
Yeah.
And then that is just one of many
It's a product.
tells, if you will, in gambling terms. It's one way of showing exactly what's in your heart anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that's skewed is like, oh, well, people who aren't Christian do good things. And there's many people who are just humanitarians that do amazing things. But outside of Christ, they're just good works, that look good to us,
Yeah, yeah.
And having the good works that we do be set in Him, I think is more valuable than anything I couldn't even express to you how valuable that is.
Wow, that's amazing. We're going to take a brief break. Then we're going to come back and introduce a brand new video that you've got. And we're going to show the whole thing. We'll be back with more with Travis right after this. Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you're enjoying Las Vegas tonight. The guests we've had on the program are wonderful examples of Christians who take seriously Christ's command to love one another. In addition to the hundreds of television stations across the United States now carrying our show, we have been presented with the outstanding opportunity to bring these inspiring stories to people around the world. An international satellite network in the Russian and Ukrainian languages has asked us to provide them with episodes to be broadcast to millions. To make a gift to support this very special effort, please send your check or money order to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To use your credit or debit card, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you.
Enjoy terrific Las Vegas shows, scrumptious dining, and fun-filled attractions at half price. Wow! Visit LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. If you use discount code VEGAS, you'll get over $2,000 worth of discounts for only $34.95. Just $34.95. LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. Act now.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. We're with Doc Jones. That's his stage and music name. He is Travis Gluckler. He's a minister. That's the best way to describe it. Do you consider yourself a minister in Las Vegas?
I'm a servant, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we all are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once when I got involved with a church plant here in Las Vegas myself, and they asked me to preach, and I said, I'm not qualified. And they said, first of all, explain the licensing that the 12 disciples went through. And secondly, we're all supposed to be ministers.
Absolutely. On some part, it never looks the same, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat. Tell us about this music video we're going to show here in Las Vegas tonight.
This is something I'm really excited about. It's a song called Dead Broke, and it's kind of a song about depravity and just being, at that last level. It's a story of this guy who is, addicted, about to be evicted, and just going through the ringer, and really goes to a point of suicide, feeling dead broke, feeling like life is not worth it, and then having this weird conversation at the end between him and God, where they kind of talking. It's really interesting and it's cool. And even how the video came about, this amazing video production team from Colorado was in town for, I guess, an expo, and someone told them about me, and they decided to shoot this music video with me. And
while they were here?
Yeah, while they were in town.
Wow, that's awesome. And that's a God thing, huh?
It's completely God thing. And the guy who plays the main character in the video is a young man named Michael, who I met kind of ministering in different ways, and he kind of popped up in my life in many different ways. He actually, at the time when this was shot, he was addicted to heroin and meth, and we shot it kind of downtown in this hotel where he was living, and it's such a real video and a view of life, and it's actually a really cool story. If you want to know that, and you can reach out to me of what happened to Michael. But the Lord has a hold of him big time right now. So
that's wonderful. That's
cool.
That's the happy ending.
Yeah, it really is. And this video, you can just see it's a moment. I feel like as much as the story is not really his of the song, you can see a part of his life in this. So it's pretty cool.
God works in amazing ways.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's a music video produced using the talents of Doc Jones. It's called Dead Broke.
Used to stay stoned, no rock in the face. You talking about church, no habla inglés. They say sex sells, guess that means sin pays. Then why you got eviction coming in 10 days? Dead broke, fast spending like renting a fake smile. 2 days and 3 hours away from a breakdown. Few pills chase the pain till sunrise. Returning with a vengeance, leaving your tongue tied. Staring in the mirror, who's that? Can't recognize. Still faded, seeing double, no better with second eyes. Fighting something, don't exist like Tekken 5. Place blame on them when it's really myself and I. Digging my own grave like a slave to my own mind. Examine my chest for a heart you won't find. Rock bottom, got a problem, somebody throw me a line. Lord, send me a sign.
Feels like my soul is dead broke. Man, you wouldn't know, cause I don't let it show. But my soul is dead broke. I got nowhere to go. Where's the Lord when I go?
On your knees praying, our Father. Hands clasping, head down like why bother? Still waiting, prayers go unanswered. Speaking to the air, no ears, so why chance it? Controlled like a puppet, no Jim Hansen. Sold your soul to the devil for a hefty ransom. Feeling lost in a mansion, but really it's a prison product of wicked living. Tracing back steps, Sundays and catechism. Now it's Sundays and strip clubs. Bought a one-way ticket where sinners face conviction. No hope for a wretch like me. Need a neo-soul like India Ari. Sounds like confessions from a broken down phone booth. Does God check voicemail? About to make my own news. Swinging straight fruit, held down by your demons. Dead broken, pain free.
Feels like my soul is dead broke. Man, you wouldn't know, cause I don't let it show. But my soul is dead broke. I got nowhere to go. Where's the Lord when I call?
Don't listen to those lies, shady schemes from the serpent. Appetite for destruction, like a lion he is lurking. To devour, take your soul, lead you to eternal fire. Separated from your father, it's time to face a giant. Fight back and get on your knees. Say if you're real right now, I really need to know. And won't you please take these pills away from me, cause I can't do it on my own. Lord, I surrender, hands raised to the throne. Son I always was with and always will be. So put that rope down, I came to give peace. It hurts that it took this long to realize. I would've spoke sooner, you had a veil on your eyes. Unable to see the glorious light that is I. Christ illuminated and darkness must hide. It's time you are mine, I'm depositing my spirit, never dead broke again.
Never will my soul be dead broke. I'm sure you will know, cause I'ma let it show. Never will my soul be dead broke. I got somewhere to go. I hear the Lord when I call.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Enjoy terrific Las Vegas shows, scrumptious dining, and fun-filled attractions at half price. Wow! Visit LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. If you use discount code VEGAS, you'll get over $2,000 worth of discounts for only $34.95. Just $34.95. LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. Act now.
And welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. Terrific video.
Thank
well
you.
done.
It's pretty amazing.
The whole
How's
story,
that?
your
Yeah.
life story is amazing. Thanks for sharing it with
Appreciate
us.
it.
If you want to get a hold of Doc Jones, the 111band.com,
Yeah, 111 band.
111,
All spelled out.
is the right way to reach him. Thank you so much for watching Las Vegas Tonight. We'll be back next week at this time. I'm Dale Davidson, and please walk with him.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
Enjoy terrific Las Vegas shows, scrumptious dining, and fun-filled attractions at half price. Wow! Visit LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. If you use discount code VEGAS, you'll get over $2,000 worth of discounts for only $34.95. Just $34.95. LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. Act now.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with Dale Davidson. Send your tax-deductible gifts to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. Or call 702-480-3989. Thanks for watching.